Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Balanced Business Coach. My name is Tony Robinson, and I am a life coach for leaders. I help individuals and teams create more balance within their personal and professional lives so that they can create a bigger and better impact on the teams that they serve. I'm so glad that you're here with me today. If you are watching this episode, you are in for a serious treat for your nervous system, for your stress levels, for your burnout. I am talking about Breathwork. Breathwork is an amazing tool that I have truly integrated into so many different parts of my life to alleviate stress, to be more present, to be more grounded, to be more focused, and to create a better foundation for my mental, physical, and emotional well-being. Breathwork is so cool because it turns out that there are so many different ways to breathe. Like I always thought it was just automatic. You just breathe in, you breathe out, you don't really think about it. It just is what it is and it keeps us alive. But there is this whole other world of intentional breathing that allows us to truly enhance our mental, physical, and emotional well-being. So today I want to get into what is breath work, why does it actually work? What are some situations that you could use these at work? And what are some techniques that you can start using today, anytime, anywhere to really start regulating your nervous system, become more present, and release those stress levels? So with all of that being said, let's get into it. So we have to start with what is breathwork. Breathwork refers to an intentional breathing technique that allows you to release your stress levels and come out of a triggered emotional state. It includes different ways of filling up your belly with air and then releasing. It involves creating more conscious awareness to the breath that's coming in and out of your body to become more present. Instead of worrying about the future, instead of worrying about the past and things that may have just happened, breath work allows you to ground into the present moment and release anything that you may be worried about. Breathwork can do so many amazing things for our body, for our mind, for our well-being overall. It can increase your energy levels. It can release toxins. It can boost your immune system. It improves your ability to focus. It can alleviate PTSD symptoms. It helps with insomnia, and it increases your lung capacity. Also, as I mentioned previously, it can decrease your stress levels. It can help with anxiety. It actually reduces the feeling of pain in the body, and it improves our digestion. There are so many incredible benefits to breath work, but just because the benefits are there doesn't mean we necessarily are just like, oh yeah, I'm on board. I want to explain to you why breath work actually works. I want you to know that there's actually science behind breath work and why it's such a beneficial tool for you to use on a daily or a regular basis when you are feeling stressed, when you're feeling triggered, or when you're feeling all over the place at work. Why is this actually a good tool for you to turn to? One of the reasons why breathwork works is because it reduces the rate of our inhales and exhales. So if we are kind of on that automatic breathing train and we're at work, sometimes our breath can get very shallow and very fast. Or sometimes we actually stop breathing altogether. So becoming aware of the breath in our body, we can actually reduce the rate at which we're breathing in and breathing out, which can stimulate our vagus nerve. And our vagus nerve is what is connected to our parasympathetic nervous system. It's actually the main nerves that are in the parasympathetic nervous system. So you've heard of fight or flight. That is the sympathetic side of the nervous system. That is when we're feeling triggered. It's that emotional reaction and response. The parasympathetic nervous system is what actually relaxes our body and calms us down. So by reducing the rate of our breath, with becoming more intentional about how quickly or how slowly we are breathing, we can actually activate that rest response to help with sleep, to help with stress, to help with anxiety. Also, making sure that you're breathing into your diaphragm, really expanding the belly, expanding the lungs. That reduces your heart rate, it lowers your blood pressure, and it also will reduce your stress levels. So, when you're needing to calm down, you need to rest, you need to digest a little bit, this is the system that you need to tap into. Now, there's another type of breathing technique that is more rapid. It's a more pulsed breathing, where if you think about going for a run or exercising, how your breathing starts to almost create this rhythm of inhale, exhale, and it's a little bit quicker, it's pulsed, but it allows your body to activate. It creates the sympathetic nervous system response, and it creates energy in your body. So when you're feeling really sluggish, if you're trying to, pump yourself up for something and you're just like, I'm not feeling it, doing more rapid breathing techniques can actually increase the energy in the body. And being intentional about your breathing also increases CO2 levels. So this can help people who have asthma, but it also can help in those moments where you're feeling a little bit sluggish. You maybe can't focus at work very well. Maybe you're, hitting that afternoon slump. If you integrate some breathing techniques, you're actually going to get oxygen flowing through the body, flowing to the brain, so that you can have more focus, more energy, more concentration. Along with these examples that I've given you already, I do want to go into what are some specific times at work that you might be able to use breath work. If you're getting ready to do a big presentation, number one, to get your energy increased, and number two, to calm down any nerves. Definitely want to make sure that you're using intentional breathwork techniques before a big presentation or a big webinar, anything that requires you to be on your game, focused, present in the moment, and not nervous. Also, if you just got off the phone with an angry client, an angry coworker, maybe your boss is upset about something, that can really trigger an emotional response in the body. And then what happens is, let's say that happened at the beginning of your day. If you don't find a way to regulate your nervous system and release that stress that phone call just caused, you're going to carry that with you through the entire day. It's going to make you less productive. It's going to make you less focused. It's going to make you more reactive to other situations that may happen. So you really want to get intentional that if something does trigger you, if something does feel like it stressed you out a bit, go back to your breathwork techniques. Take a couple breaths until you feel that relief, and then get back to work. It's going to make a huge difference in the rest of your day. Let's say you just got back from vacation and you have a huge to-do list, or you have a huge influx of emails that you have to tend to. This can really create some stress within the body. It can really slow down your ability to respond. It can make you respond in a way that is less favorable than if you were at a more regulated emotional state. So if you have this influx of workload and it's stressing you out, make sure that you're regulating your nervous system, make sure that you're breathing, make sure that you are aware of how you're feeling in your body, because it's going to come out in how you're able to actually do your work. A few other things that might be really good to integrate breath work into is if your boss just asked to speak with you, if you're getting ready to go into a performance review, or if you just got out of a performance review, that might be a really good time to neutralize those emotions and become more present and grounded in those moments. Also, like I mentioned earlier, if you're having trouble focusing at work, if you are kind of procrastinating on something, taking a moment to breathe, center yourself, get grounded, will allow you to start executing and operate from a more intentional space at work. Okay, so I want to get into 3 different techniques today that you can use on your own time at work, at home, anywhere, anytime, that are really going to help you with everything that I have mentioned already during this video. So the first technique is called the box breath. This technique is really simple. It's just inhaling for 4 seconds, holding that breath for 4 seconds, exhaling for 4 seconds, and then holding again for 4 seconds. And you just do that as many times as needed until you feel relief. You can set a number of rounds that you want to breathe. So if you wanted to do 10 inhales and exhales, you could set 10 rounds of this breath technique, but I would also consider tuning into what your body is actually needing and what it's telling you. So sometimes if you've set, oh, I'm going to do 10 breaths, you may not actually feel relief after those 10 breaths. And sometimes you may not need all 10 breaths, but it's really, really helpful for you to start tuning into your body what its actual needs are so that you know when you feel that relief and when you have found the balance that you need from the breath work. The other thing is if you set a number, you're thinking more about the counting than you are actually about the breathing. And again, it just takes away from that feeling of connection to the body. You're making it more of a mental thing than an emotional or a physical process to release. Another technique that you can do is alternate nostril breathing. What I normally do is I take my 2 fingers and you'll hold down one nostril, breathe in, and then you'll switch and then exhale, and then breathe in and then switch and then exhale. So essentially you're just alternating. And again, you can do as many rounds of this as you want, but you want to fill the entire belly when you're breathing in and empty the entire belly when you're breathing out. So it should be a little bit slower of a process to inhale all the way, because when you only have one nostril to breathe in, it slows down that breathing pattern. You can't just suck in a whole ton of air and then, go on about your merry way. It takes a little bit more time, takes a little bit more patience to get to the top of that breath to really fill your diaphragm up, and then exhale all the way through until you have no breath left in your belly. This one is really helpful if you have a racing mind, and sometimes it can seem a little bit counterintuitive to slow down when things are racing. You kind of want to speed up, you want to go, 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 you want to get things done, you just want to figure things out. But actually slowing down is what allows you to speed up in the long term. So take that moment, do a couple of nostril breaths, gather yourself, become more present, and then try and execute on the task or tasks that were causing that lack of focus or anxiety. And then the last one is the 5-finger breath. This one might be hard for me to demonstrate with my mic. You just hold out your hand and you're going to trace up and down each finger. You can do this with another finger on your other hand. I like to do it with the side of my hand, this edge, to trace up and down each finger. And as you trace up, you're going to inhale. As you trace down, you're going to exhale. So this is not only bringing you into the present moment by doing the breathwork technique, but it's also using your sense of touch to create that grounded awareness into the present as well. So this technique uses a couple different things for you to really release that stress. And again, with this, you can set the number of rounds if that makes you feel more safe, if that feels better for you. But I would say if it's accessible for you to just do as many breaths until you feel relief in your body, until you feel the stress has dissipated, that is what I would recommend if it's possible. All right, so that is our episode for today. I hope this was enjoyable for you. I hope you learned a couple of things. I hope that you're going to take at least one of these techniques with you. If none of these techniques resonated with you, you can also look up breathwork on Google. There are so many different techniques. There's also guided practices. If you feel like you're not really comfortable yet to do your own breathing exercises, you can also go on to apps like Insight Timer, Calm, things like that, and they will guide you through different breathwork practices in real time. Thank you so much for being here today. As always, it means the absolute world to me to have you here and that you made it to the end of this video. And let me know in the comments what breathwork technique really resonated with you, or what is something that you learned today. I would love to hear from you and get your feedback. If you haven't already, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps me out. It goes a long way. And my videos will actually show up in your feed so that you can get notified anytime that I post a new video. You can also hit the bell icon and it will notify you directly. If you are someone who is experiencing burnout or struggling with really high stress levels, I have a free resource down below for you. It's called the Burnout Prevention and Bounce Back Training. It helps anyone who is on the verge of burnout or anyone who is recovering from burnout. It's got both ends of the spectrum, and it's a really good place to start to overcome this really challenging time. So again, I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. And until next time, take care.